We had a phenomenal day today. League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue.
This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. This is the merch. Get the link in the description section. Also, I got a bunch of dad Father's Day shirts that we've just launched. All you have to do is put in dad up, and during pre-order, you get 30% off of those shirts. The link is in the description section. It's like 3 or 4 shirts that we just launched. I think it's about 3 shirts, 30% off. Just put in dad up, one word, just like this, dad up, and you'll get 30% off of the shirts and pre-order all the way through Wednesday. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications. Anytime I go live, make a video, make sure you still subscribe to this channel. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. We had Glenn Kuiper get fired for saying the N-word with the hard R. He didn't say it like your favorite rapper with the A on the end. He said And do I think he should have gotten fired? No. Listen, let me say this. I don't know why these Fabergé eggs of society get offended at the N-word. I could not care less if someone says that it has no power. But see, the main people that says it don't have power are affected by it every single day of their life. It's okay when your favorite rapper say it, but if you let a white person rap your favorite rapper song, now you hurt and you want to go all the way back to slavery. And why can't we be honest and say, hey, man, there's white people probably say the N-word too. I mean, they may not mean it in a negative way. Maybe they listen to too much rap music. Now, Glenn Kuiper, and I'm going to play the clip for you guys that are listening. I'm going to play the clip, and therefore you can see why he got fired. And then we're going to explain why I think that they maybe should have suspended him, allowed him to apologize, and for him to retain his job. I swear he's been in radio and doing broadcasting for decades. The guy is literally a legend and lost it all from accidentally saying the N-word, which it was a confusing word, Negro, and then the R. Roll the clip.
We had a phenomenal day today. League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue. Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. I just wanted to, a little bit earlier in the show, I said something didn't come out quite the way I wanted it to, and I just wanted to apologize if...
I feel bad for him, man. I don't think he really meant to say that. He said interleague. I think he was trying to say Negro League Museum, and he accidentally said the N-word. You know, it's kind of weird, though, because he must say that a lot, because I grew up saying the N-word, every single word out of my mouth, every rap song, every in this, in that, in that. I remember one time I felt bad about it. I was in college, and me and my friends used to say the N-word to each other all the time, and we at a university with nothing but white people. And one time we got real crazy. We were saying N, and the white people were looking at us like, and I felt bad. I said, you know what? We sound real stupid out here saying the N-word. But even as much as I've said it in my entire life, I don't think I would ever slip and say it in meaning Negro and say the N-word. So, Glenn may have been saying the hard R for a long time. Does that make the man racist? I don't think so. It's just a word. It's just a word. And I don't understand why people give that word so much power. It's no different than any other ignorant word that somebody would say, or a derogatory word. Let me just say this. And I know it's controversial for me to say this, and people say you are Uncle Tom, you a sellout coon because I say this. Just because a person say the word doesn't necessarily mean they're racist. Let me give you an example. I have never engaged with a racist person a day in my life that I know of. Maybe in their subconscious they may feel like they're racist, but a man ain't never been racist to me publicly. But I've had 2 people call me the N-word while I was a police officer, and you have to be mindful and have wisdom to interpret what's going on here. We were at a house in an apartment complex where all they doing is thugging all night. We literally at the apartment complex, probably 60% of our calls. I'll tell y'all a story. You're not going to believe this. A meth head actually gave birth in the parking lot at this apartment complex. The baby came out in the parking lot, and she ran and bit off the umbilical cord. You're not going to believe it. She bit off the umbilical cord, and they end up taking the baby from her and rushing her to the hospital, taking her to the hospital. They took her baby from her, but she literally gave birth in the middle of the apartment complex on the asphalt. Anyway, this apartment complex is ratchet. So we out there, we got guns drawn on somebody that had a gun or shots was fired or something like that. We proned out. We're trying to make sure we navigate the situation. We're getting people away from the area, and this fool was upset because I told him to get out of the way, and he called me the N-word. I'll tell you the story after the break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to finish that story I was telling you about. So I told you about the meth head that literally gave birth in the parking lot of this apartment complex, which, it's funny to me because I'm telling you the honest to God truth. It's on record. I'm pretty sure they still have the 911 call. And I could not believe my ears when I heard it, is that the woman had given birth. Somebody called 911 and said the lady is now running with the baby with the umbilical cord still hanging, and she bit the umbilical cord off. And that tell you how much drugs she was taking. Hopefully the baby is okay. I don't remember. I know they took it from her. However, there was a dude that called me the N-word, because sometimes in policing you have to use your authority and be very confident in what you say to people and direct them where they need to go so they don't get killed. So this person is shooting out of an apartment complex, allegedly. He didn't shoot at us, but that was the report. And so we had guns drawn. We didn't know if this guy was going to come out shooting. We didn't want innocent bystanders. So this guy's hanging around doing a looky-loo. And I said, hey, man, you need to move around because we don't want you to get hurt. And he was like, I don't have to do nothing. I said, man, you better get out of here right now. I'm going to take you to jail. And he said, you ain't going to do nothing for me, N-word. And so, I'm not going to lie. I kind of feel some type of way. But at the end of the day, is that an example of racism? Or is that an example of a man saying something to me that he thought would trigger me? He wanted to hurt me. What can you say to a black person in modern society, not this black person, but other black people? What can you say in modern society to hurt them and make them more upset? Even if you really don't believe it, but you know it's something to attack somebody on. Do a man really hate women because he called them a B? I think it's disrespectful, but maybe a man calls a woman a B because he wants to upset her and make her mad, and that's the only word that he know how to use in order to get under her skin. Now, of course, he could be a dog, which I think you're a dog if you call a woman a B anyway, and I think you are inappropriate if you call anybody the N-word. I don't care if they black, white, green, or orange. However, does that necessarily mean the person is racist? Had another situation, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was kind of wrong in this situation because I shouldn't have gone that far. And many people have never heard this story about me, and I don't share it much because I'm kind of embarrassed that I did it, but I'm going to tell you today anyway. So I was on a call. It's the end of the day. I was on a 12-hour shift in the state of Arizona. I had long sleeve uniforms because I have tattoos all over my arms, and I couldn't show so I'm burning up, mind you. 12 hours, I'm tired, I'm fatigued. All I've been doing is dealing with drama all day with all these people. Last call today is a person who owned a U-Haul company, and the dude is, not a U-Haul company, but a tow company, and the dude is complete fraud. Now, as a Christian man, I tried to give him a fresh start, right? Went to his call. Everybody hated him, said, man, don't do no time. I said, as a Christian man, I'm gonna give him a fair shot, and I'm going to let that man let me determine how I feel about him based on his reaction to me. I spent hours investigating this thing for him. We go back to his call this other day. It could have been like 2 or 3 weeks later. And he was upset because what this man would do is that without people calling, he would just go by and tow people's cars. The owner of the building wouldn't even call on people. He would just go see their cars parked in the zone and he'll go tow it. And in the state of Arizona, a lot of people don't know this, is you don't have to pay the tow truck company. You don't have to pay them. It's not a mechanical lien. You can literally go to the tow truck company and say, I want my car right now. And if you don't, you can call the police, and the police will force them to give you your car back. So really, the onus is on the person who called in the tow. So this guy actually goes out and tows people car for no reason, so they come there, and of course, they're livid. We get there, and my partner is a lot shorter than me. He's probably like 5'6", so he's a smaller guy. And so this guy is berating him, and I'm fed up by the end of the day. And he's talking real crazy to one of my officers. And I said, hey, man, look, you better stop talking to him like that. We'll leave. You're not going to disrespect us and think we're going to sit here and take it. We'll leave. We won't take this call. And we kind of got into an argument. And I said, he said, well, what you want to do? Like, he wanted to fight me. And I said, well, let's fight then. If you want to fight. I said, I'll take my badge and everything. I'll whoop you right here in his yard. You didn't mess with the wrong person. And I was really upset enough to actually fight this guy. Thank God my partner was like, man, don't do it. But the dude called me the N-word. And so then it was more fuel. I was like, oh, I'm finna serve this guy, and then I'll go do another job. But I'm finna serve him today. But after a while, I came to my senses, and I said, you know what, that's not the appropriate way to act. But was that man a racist? That's the real question. And I don't think he was a racist. I think what he wanted to do, because he wasn't going to get the best of me physically, he couldn't psychologically get the best of me. So he said, if I say the N-word to this man, I'm going to make him be upset and I'll win this argument. So in my mind, when it comes to the N-word, it's not just the word being spewed, it's the context in which the word is being spoken of. I remember this sorority, they were doing the Kanye West song. I ain't saying she a gold digger, but I ain't messing with no broke. And then the girls were singing it, and they said, I ain't messing with no broke and they hit the A on it. They didn't even do the ER, and they got canceled. They had to come and apologize for singing Kanye West song. They didn't have to apologize for buying a record. They didn't have to apologize for the download that he put in his pocket and the publishing company or the record label put in their pocket. But somehow white people can buy your music, but they can't say all your words. To me, that's asinine. So I think that we, as a society, should not use the N-word. We shouldn't even use curse words, if you ask me. I think we should all operate with a sense of integrity and watching the things that come out of our mouth. I remember my pastor used to teach this. Now pastors be cussing in the pulpit. They go and cuss and say, it's a pastor, Tim Ross. He's the lead, or he's the head pastor over, I forget the guy's name. It's going to come back to me. He has the church in Oklahoma, and that dude is really weird. I knew something was off with him, but I said, let me not judge people. Let me just listen to what he has to say and if it's matching up with the scripture or not. But Tim Ross was on a podcast. Huh? No. It's a guy. He's a black guy. He did a crazy thing on Easter and got backlash for it. Michael Todd. There you go. Michael Todd. Well, Tim Ross is his spiritual leader or something crazy that they didn't concoct it. But Tim Ross was on a podcast, and he said God has called him to cuss. And I said, Lord Jesus of Nazareth, the Nazarene, why would a Christian say something that stupid? God ain't called you to start cussing. It's just that you can't watch your mouth, and you don't have enough integrity to stop doing what you know to do when you were in the world, and now you want to blame God on it. It's the same thing when he did a sermon. I'll get to it. He did a sermon about being a stripper, and he called Jesus a stripper. He said the only stripper that we love is Jesus. He was stripping on the cross, and I said, God, you going straight to hell.